Hi everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. Sure has been a week, hasn't it? I wish murder hornets were the headline. The good old days of 2 weeks ago. All we had to worry about was giant murdering bugs. Not all, but you know what I mean. Before I get into my normal rambly Friday reads, I wanted to say that I have always been, am, and will continue to be an ally to the Black community, to any community who is underrepresented, marginalized. I have always voted and shopped at and read and purchased from people of all different colors, sexualities, anything from my own. I'm going to continue to do so. I feel like now if I pointed out all the Black authors I've read in the past, it would seem like I was trying to prove something, and I'm not. I could say the same thing for the Pride movement because it's Pride Month. I'm not going to list off all the LGBTQI plus authors I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep reading what I read, which is a little of a lot of stuff, and just keep going. If I am going to up my social justice reading, my nonfiction reading, one thing that I learned from doing this latest round of the BookTube Prize when I had all those books about abuse and, well, just mostly abuse, is that I can read really difficult books and I can get through some sleepless nights with anxiety and feeling sick to my stomach, and I can still be fine. I'm okay. I'm better for having read challenging books. So I'm going to make a point to not shy away from books I'm afraid of reading anymore and keep that up. I'd like to keep one hard, quote unquote hard, nonfiction going at all times. And whatever it is. I have plenty on my shelves to choose from, certainly. But if there are any books that you think I should read specifically about Black lives or authors or anything about Pride, any LGBTQ authors, please leave me a list below. Leave me some comments. I would love to get your recommendations of books you have read and enjoyed. Doesn't matter the genre, I don't care. But I'm just going to keep on doing what I have been doing and not jump on the trend of whatever. For some people this was a necessary awakening, and that's great that they're seeing how things are. I also don't talk about anything like this on my channel because, I don't know, I feel like as a white woman I should just shut up. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's part of the problem, so I don't say anything. I'm not on social media at all except for here. I don't think Litzy really counts. I don't ever show my face there or whatever, but I'm barely on Instagram. I haven't been on Facebook in probably 10 years. I was never on Twitter, so I don't know. But I am going to be better about educating myself and make it more of a priority as opposed to just a few times a year going on kind of a mini binge. You know what I mean? So enough of all of that. Well, you know what I mean. So let's get to the Friday reads part. So as you can imagine, not much got read this week aside from everything on the news and everything happening in my personal life. It was really, really difficult too. There were some hurt feelings with friend issues and mediating that. And I started working again this week, which is wonderful. But working in a pandemic when you haven't worked this whole time is a little different. I'm in a new location, as you guys know, and seeing my first clients in my new space was a little wonky. Where did I put this? And oh, the towels are here. Okay. It's just a little, my brain had to work extra hard in every area of my life this week is basically what I'm saying. So my brain couldn't handle reading. I only finished 2 books. One was The Self-Care Solution, A Year of Becoming Happier, Healthier, and Fitter, 1 month at a time. This glary book is by Dr. Jennifer Ashton. So every month she focuses on a different topic, kind of like Gretchen Rubin's Happiness Project. Is that what that was called? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this. So I think January she had a dry month. 1 month she focused on stretching. One was eating less meat. 1 month was on sleep. I don't remember. But it was interesting to see a Western doctor go through all these things and she explains how she picks each topic for each month. I don't remember why or how she picked them, if it was randomly from her time on Good Morning America, which she references quite a bit, because I don't watch Good Morning America. I don't know who she is. But it was interesting to see how she picked and what things she picked for what months. And then for each, she has a little blurb in the beginning of each chapter about why she picked it, what her current habits are at the start of the month. And then each week she has a little wrap up of how she felt, or if she fell off the wagon and had like tons of burgers one week or whatever it was. And then at the end, she summarizes what she learned and then gives you tips in your own life that you can apply for the same things if you're trying to do the same things. So I really liked it. It was interesting. 3 stars, good, just fine. You know, if you want to read something like this, I think it's good. It's nothing revolutionary, but what she said about some things was kind of interesting. I especially like the chapter on sleep and the chapter on stretching. The stretching specifically because I sort of professionally stretch people in a weird way. I don't do Thai massage, but I am a Swedish massage therapist, and some of what I do is stretching people. So it was nice to see that a subtle movement that wasn't like hard cardio or running forever or going like cycling or whatever. That isn't the only way to take care of yourself. And it's like yoga is wonderful, and a lot of it is a stretching, but just isolating stretching was really interesting. And yeah, so I liked this. It was just fine. Don't rush out and get it, but if you're interested, certainly pick it up. I will say I put this on hold at my library in November, just before it was published, and I just got it at the start of the pandemic, so March. It took me a while to get it, but yeah, not bad. And the only other book I finished this week, which I was 80% done with, but I finally made myself just finish it, and that is Ruby by V.C. Andrews. This is, of course, a reread for me because I was a teen girl in the 90s, so this is what you read. I didn't quite remember everything in here, but some things I did remember. This is as dramatic and slightly trashy and torrid and sort of nostalgia-inducing as you would expect from a V.C. Andrews book. This follows the story of Ruby. For those of you who are classier than I am, the story of Ruby, who grows up in the bayou in Louisiana. I think this is set in the 50s or 60s. She never really specifies a year. It just is sort of in the not too distant past, you know. She lives with her grandmother, Mare, in the swamps, and her grandfather is around, but he's a drunk and lives far away from them, like some other place in the swamp. And Ruby eventually comes to find out that her mother, who passed away, slept with some rich man who is still alive, and Ruby is one of twins, which she didn't know. So when her grandmother dies, she decides to go and find her birth father and her sister and like find family again, stay with them. So they're very rich people living in New Orleans, and her stepmother is a horrible, horrible, horrible person. Her sister is, of course, a horrible spoiled brat. She's really mean and nasty. Her dad is very nice, but doesn't stand up to anyone, doesn't quite see how terrible these women in his life are. So Ruby navigates high school, sort of has a boyfriend, but it's creepy because, of course, it's a sexual creepy thing because it's V.C. Andrews, you know. Start of a series. I initially thought at the beginning of this year that I would be doing some kind of a 90s summer read-along where I read stuff from the 90s. R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, all that stuff. I still might do something like a week or two or something. I'm still kind of mulling it over, but I thought I would read this whole series again and the whole Heaven series again, because those are the two that I owned and read when I was a teenager. But after reading this, I read this, by the way, with Sean and Bert at Past Storytime for their My So-Called 90s book club. But after reading this, my V.C. Andrews tank is full. You know, like that was enough for me. So maybe at some other point I will get back to them. I'm sure I will at some point in future, but not anytime on the horizon, but still. So 2 books this week, woohoo. Then I am not going to knock over piles of books over here. So I am participating in three read-alongs this month because I didn't do anything in March, so let's really make up for lost time now. So the first one, this is also part of my haul, is the Stormalong2020. This is obviously The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So this is hosted by 4 people. It's Christy Lewis at Dostoevsky in Space, Michael Nip, Victoria from, it used to be Victoria Reads Too Much, now her channel's name is A Musical Bookworm, and Ryan at Seeking Stories. And I will link everyone below, all their channels below. So this already started. I don't know if you can see this, probably can't, but June 4th is the first thing up here. I haven't read it yet. But it's about a quarter of the book at a time. So the point is to read all these books, the first 3 that are already out in this series, every 2 months. And then the new book in this series will be out in November. So we're going to read through the summer to get to the new release date. I have never read Sanderson before. I asked for recommendations, not only in my I Need Recommendations Please video, but I've also asked around on a couple of other channels, and I asked specifically on one of Nerdy Narratives channels, and Rajathan responded, said that for Brandon Sanderson, I should start with Mistborn. That was my intention. And then I saw this read-along on Christy Lewis's channel, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start here instead. Let's start with the big book. Why not? So here I am. I'm going to give this a shot. I think I'm going to like it. Don't know how I'm going to hold it up all the time if I'm reading it, but I think I'm going to like it. So I'm participating in the Stormalong that's already going on. And then, let's see, the other one, number 2, I should say, not the other. Number 2 is the I Capture the Castle read-along that's hosted by Rainy at Rainy Day Reads. Who else? 4 other ladies too. That's right, Emily at Novell Novels, Tia and All the Books, and Angie at Literary Labors. This is running June 14th to the 20th, about 2 to 3 chapters every day. There is a bingo card that if you want to play along. I'm going to really try and do that too. I don't have any images saved or anything yet. Maybe I will try and put them up here. But I'm participating in that. I don't have my copy of I Capture the Castle. It's in the house somewhere. I think it's downstairs, but it's not on the shelves upstairs here, so I'll pull that out. But reading that, I Capture the Castle, by the way, is by Dodie Smith. And the third read-along I'm doing is the Golden Girls Readathon. I am so excited for this. That's happening next week, the 8th through the, is it 13th or 14th? It must be 13th, Saturday, Sunday? Don't know. But I am really super excited. In case I have not said it before or you are new here, I am an OG Golden Girls fan from when it was first on when I was a kid. Like, have always loved it, will always love it. Love the Golden Girls. So this is the second year it's been happening. This is created and hosted by Rachel Fryman. I will link her channel below. I'm going to be filming my Golden Girls Readathon TBR video very shortly, so I can get that posted. It's way later than I wanted it to be, and I apologize, Rachel, but so I'm gonna participate in that too, starting next week. That is really exciting to me. So what else do I have here to talk about? Okay, so what came in this week? Way of Kings came in this week. My friend Jenna, hey girl, she gave me I'd Rather Be Reading. She didn't want it anymore, so I said thank you very much. This is all a library of art for book lovers, so it's just, you know, illustrations or photographs or whatever. Oh, that's a bunch of writing about books and reading, and I love stuff like this, so thank you. I also got Dead Mountain in. This is the untold true story of the Dyatlov Pass incident by Donnie Eichar. I've always been interested in the Dyatlov Pass incident. It's fascinating to me, and this is for my Bitches Book Club with Jenna and Michelle. We're starting reading this today or yesterday. Let's just say today. And I don't know if any of you guys watch Josh Gates at Expedition Unknown. I think he's on Discovery now. He was on Travel Channel for a long time. I really love Josh Gates. I also have a crush on him. Don't tell him and his wife. But he did a 2-hour special on the Dyatlov Pass, and he and one of the women who I think run a website I don't know, remember what it is right now. I will look it up and link it below. But he and a whole team of people go and follow in the tracks of this group of students and talk to scientists, talk to natives, talk to all these different people, and they debunked a whole bunch of theories and proved why that couldn't be true. That was fascinating. If you can track down those 2 episodes, it's really well worth it. So I'm excited to read this book about the Dyatlov Pass. And the last book that came in my house this week, which was used from the UK, so it took a while to get here, which is absolutely fine. It is Lady of Sherwood by Jennifer Roberson. This is the second book in I think this is just a duology about Robin Hood. It's from the 90s. Awesome. Awesome cover. Robin Hood saga, I don't know. You know me, I love anything Robin Hood, so Lord knows when I will get to this one or the first in the series, but they're on my shelves now and I have them. And I found out about these from Puck at Badger Reads. Thank you very much. So go check out her channel too. She's got a great channel. So that's what came in. And I think, nope, one more thing. Because I'm not doing enough reading challenges or groups this month, why not add some more in all my copious spare time now that I'm working again? I'm a ding dong. But I was inspired by my friend Danny. Hey girl. My bestie Danny at Spinelli Speaks. She has been doing a vlog series where she reads 1 or 2 books of the Unfortunate Events series every month. And they look so interesting and fun. I think I read the first 1 or 2, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and liked them, but just never went back to it. I sort of forgot. It just fell off of my radar. That happens to most things in my life. But seeing her talk about these so much, and then also watching Emma at Drinking by My Shelf do a 24-hour readathon of this entire series, and we really want to pick this up again. So I got all of the books from my library except for 3, and I will listen to those 3 books. I am currently about a third of the way through the first book, The Bad Beginning. These are by Lemony Snicket, in case you don't know. So I'm going to be plowing through this middle grade children's series because why not? I also have an enormous stack of graphic novels from the library. I think I have 50 things checked out from the library right now. It's kind of bad. I need to really get on that. Especially as the due date for most things got bumped to the 15th of June. And that's like 10 days from now. I don't think I've read much of my library books. Maybe like 5 or 6 of the roughly 50 that I have checked out. It's not a good ratio. It should be the opposite direction. So yeah. Oh, and also another thing I'm joining, because again, I'm joining all the things now, on Litzy this weekend. It starts today through Sunday, hosted by SACE. It's S-A-C-E. I think her name is Sarah. It doesn't matter. A Create Your Own Readathon this weekend. It's just an excuse to not feel guilty about reading. So I am all for that, because I feel guilty about most things I enjoy pretty much all the time. That's just kind of how I roll. So I am joining in on that on Litzy. My name over there is Laura Brooke, altogether B-R-O-O-K. There's no E on Brooke, my middle name. So if you want to join us over there, and if you're on Litzy already, if not, come and join us. It's a bookish community. It's all books all the time, kind of like Instagram, but not with 1,000 hashtags for everything, and people actually read books and talk about them. So if that, it's free, join. So I'm also doing that readathon. So for the readathon this weekend, my goals are to not feel bad about reading. That's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to finish up 2 books that I am in the middle of, which I have over 20 to choose from. So, no problem there. And the third thing I want to do is to read one of my library books from start to finish. So yeah, I can barely keep track of this. This has been a lot of talking. I don't expect you to. Don't worry, there's no quiz at the end. But we are finally at the end. So are you joining in on any of these read-alongs, readathons? Do you have recommendations for me? As always, I will take any and all recommendations for everything. Do you have questions for me? Anything at all? Leave something in the comments. I'm not here all the time, but I do check in a few times a week, and I try to respond to everything as best I can. I hope you guys join in the Golden Girls Readathon, because I'm so excited about it. And I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy and doing well as we start to venture back out there. And yeah, that's all I got. So take care, and I hope you're reading something wonderful. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.